she talking to now? What is she up to next? Where in the world will she be?
Welcome to another exciting episode of Talk2SV. Talk2SV, brought to you by...
Who is she talking to now? What is she up to next? Where in the world will she be? Talk2SV. You just
We're definitely trying to reach kids and help them understand why it's important to brush their teeth, why it's important to eat the right foods, and how that affects our teeth.
If we can catch them at a young age, then they will soak up that knowledge.
Being able to start with a smile and see how that affects the rest of their health is amazing.
Talk2SV covers entertainment and lifestyle, news, upcoming movies, and current events.
taught me everything and everything you've given me. I always keep it inside. You're the driving force in my life. Hey, there isn't anything or anyone that I could be, and it just wouldn't feel right if I didn't have you by my side. Oh, you were there for me to love and care for me when skies were gray. Whenever I was down, you were always there to comfort me. No one else can be what you have been to me. You will always be, you will always be the girl in my life for all time. Mama, mama, you know I love you. Ooh, you know I love you, mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. Mama, I just want you to know, loving you is like food to my soul. You're always down for me, have always been around for me, even when I was bad. You showed me right from my wrong. Yes, you did. And you took up for me when everyone was down on me. You always did understand. You gave me strength to go on. There were so many times looking back when I was so afraid. And then you come to me and you say to me, I could face anything. And no one else can do what you've done for me.
I sat down with Diane Carroll in Los Angeles for a one-on-one conversation that resonates strongly today. Born Carol Diane Johnson on July 17th, Ms. Carroll's professional career began at age 15 as a model for Ebony magazine. At age 18, her television and singing career began with a performance on the popular series Chance of a Lifetime. Ms. Carroll took home the top prize of $1,000 and went on to win 4 consecutive weeks. A short time later, her film debut in Carmen Jones, alongside Dorothy Dandridge in 1954, launched a multifaceted career. She broke through a huge barrier in Hollywood with a starring role in the weekly TV comedy Julia that distinguished her as the first African-American woman to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award in 1969. She hosted the Diahann Carroll musical variety television show in 1976. Her imprint widened as Dominique Devereaux, the first African-American woman with a recurring role on the weekly TV drama Dynasty from 1984 to 1987. Ms. Carroll is the recipient of numerous accolades and awards. She is an inductee in the Hollywood Television Hall of Fame and continues working today. We began our conversation discussing the advice she received early on and if she hears an echo when giving advice to those who have followed in her footsteps.
Yes, the answer to your question is basically yes. Now, where are you interested in any particular?
The normal follow-up would be career-wise, yes. But as a woman, out front, and the span of time,
Yes.
the advice that you were given, is it now fitting that you give that same advice to someone else?
Very much so. A lot of it has changed. Not all of it is applicable now. I think that my greatest lessons came through observation and, if necessary, a follow-up phone call or whatever. I'm not good with these with the machines. I'm terrible. I bought every damn one of them, and they're all in my office. I like to speak to people, to hear the voice. I know it drives Cheryl crazy and everybody else, but I always want to hear the tone of voice that's saying or asking whatever it is. There's more information in that first moment of, hi, how are you? I'm fine, how are you? If you listen, there's something in there, and you can use it. I loathe it when email is sent on my behalf.
Then let's talk about boundaries.
Okay.
Ones that you establish, ones that perhaps you wish you had in place.
Ones that I established,
Yes.
my own boundaries.
Yes.
They're pretty much the same as almost everyone else. Boundaries. Well, if I'm asked to do something that is really not in my frame of mind, and I have to skip over to someone else's frame of mind to see if this is something that could be helpful to whatever that person wants to do, that's very hard for me. I have to realize that this thing that I call Diahann Carroll, which I started doing in my teens, my friend named me that Diahann Carroll. My name is Carol Diane Johnson. And, okay, so boundaries are very, and I'm quite old-fashioned. I know that I've been involved with several relationships, and most people associate that with a kind of freedom, not just pal to pal, but sexually and so on and so forth. And I'm pretty mundane. I'm very, I guess old-fashioned is the word.
I ask because, as you well know, when you become a public figure and people are exposed to you or your talent, somehow they take ownership of you.
If you allow it.
If you allow it. And that's the perspective of boundaries that I think this question is coming from. At the same time, it is that adoring fan base that propels the career because people like who you are, what they've seen you do. The lines of demarcation sometimes can be blurry. Did you struggle with that at any point?
Yes.
And how did you navigate the course?
It's also It's today. It's today too. Once you recognize that this is the atmosphere, the scenario in which you're operating, it is my responsibility and it is your responsibility to say, how is this working for me? Because the most important person here is me. And I say that because very often we forget to say that to ourselves. I'm the one who knows how much rest I need. I'm the one who knows that I can't do that and there's no point in my trying to do it. But I can try this if that'll work. And I try to open the door. But there are times when I can see that the personalities are all about control, not really creative, whatever you can bring from your own imagination. But they're all about control. And that it's very important to control this thing that I created called Diane Carroll. Mm-hmm. And there are times when Diane Carroll's tired. And I want that to be respected. I appreciate admiration for what I have tried to do through my work. But you have to let me handle me. Mm-hmm. I will never stop outside of the group to the extent that I can't be brought back into it. But let me decide what I can and cannot do.
It leads to another area that I hope we could discuss. How do you self-identify? Because clearly you let us know Diane Carroll has been created as your vehicle to do your work. Mm-hmm. But how do you self-identify? Is it important for you to self-identify?
Self-identification, I think, it's pretty well established with me at an early age. This name came to me with my partner in high school. We went to the High School of Music and Art. And she said, I want to send so we can do this in front of Arthur Godfrey. Mm. And I said, I don't care what my name is. Let's just keep rehearsing. And I've been that way all my life. If I don't separate Diane Carroll from Carol Diane Johnson, it's all one package. Carol Diane Johnson Carol Diane Johnson did, and she came up with Diane Carroll. And that's okay. As a matter of fact, it's exciting. I like it. Me coming into this world, I never poor, but we didn't have a lot of money. Our choices were, Radio City Music Hall was a big to-do, and travel. My father was not good with that, because if we were going to travel across the country, it was no good because of the segregation and prejudice and so on and so forth, which they handled very well until my father was taken out of the car in the middle of the night by the policeman, and they led him away. I can always see him walking away, and I said to my mother, what shall we do? She said, we're going to do just as they told us to do. We're going to stay in this car. So Diane Carroll, I don't think she was born yet. Yes, because I was a little girl. But Carol Diane Johnson had that experience of not knowing whether I was going to see my father ever again. But they have to fit into one. There's only one body and one mind and whatever it is that helped me get through that moment was all my parents and little Carol Diane Johnson. And I was shivering and frightened, and I think that part of me helped Diane Carroll with her humility, her fears.
Help to assuage, or
handling them maybe did not always need assuaging, if there is such a word. I know assuage, but it may not have needed that. It may have needed something else. So what I'm saying, I allowed me to do whatever was called of me at that moment. And if it didn't work for me, I'd say, I can't do that. I can't do that. I remember my mother was asked to sit and watch her husband walk down, and there was nothing she could do, but I can do a lot of things. So I'm going to do those things that I need.
I grew up in the South, in the segregated South.
Where?
In a small town named Louisiana, near Monroe, Louisiana.
Right.
My town is Winsboro, perhaps about as big as this room.
Okay.
So watching you on TV is a totally different experience for someone like me.
Absolutely, I know that. But thank you.
Yeah. And so to meet you and to meet Diane Carroll, what comes with that is the little girl.
That's right.
And the full-grown woman
That's
now.
right.
So I am curious to know how this woman that I am looking at factored so greatly into my own life. That's why I'm curious to know who you were. Because you were out front doing things that I only dreamed of doing.
And I was curious as to those who went before me, who are older, and some of them had information to impart, and some were just too frightened to ever say anything. Some were very good, but there are things to take under consideration. I was a young girl, and some of them were getting older, the women. So maybe they're not quite so nice and informative. Go get it for yourself kind of attitude. Life has an awful lot of colors and situations to be handled.
Let's talk about getting older.
Okay.
I just love the way you present. I love what you said to us earlier about the discipline it takes to maintain your health and your beauty. But there are other things that impact us as we get older. People's interpretations about our expectations, what we can and cannot do. How do you process this whole journey of getting older?
I think I mentioned upstairs that one of the most important things we can do is to learn to trust ourselves, our opinions, whatever it is that goes on up here. Never put that away. Always find out if how I feel about getting older is being complimented or not made light of, because we can't make light. I know people like to because it makes them nervous. I notice that's very much in the community today. Young people are, come on, old lady, because they think it's cute. Or actually, we've gone too fast from here to there, 1950, 60 something, to here. And there's not really that kind of connectedness, real connectedness to, I'm glad to see you because, and I know how old you are. It's not really there. It's mostly teasing. Not very much is that serious for young people of today.
When I see your name and I hear you performing at the Regency or other places, I just have a sense of delight.
That's good. Thank you.
I really do. How does it, now when you perform, are there certain songs that you just prefer doing versus others?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Can you talk about your performances? Describe them for me, because I've not been to one.
Well, how do I describe that? I'm on for an hour and a half, and I go through all kinds of things about my life. And that includes family, romance, work, and you find what lyric is representative of whatever it is you want to say at this moment. I don't dance. I stand there, usually in a beaded dress, because a beaded dress you can put in a suitcase and it won't wrinkle. You're going to the next job. So we had few of the beaded dresses. But I don't know how it's the same as being an actress. Mm-hmm. It just has music connected to it. It's a connection between you and the audience.
Sandra, we have to wrap. I'm sorry.
Oh. Are you ready
one
to
more
kill?
Quick one?
You ready to kill him, huh?
Yeah, I am. I was thinking about the amount of time. I wanted to ask you a few other things about love, security, faith, things like that.
That's not a few other things. Is there someone waiting?
Yeah, there's someone waiting.
All right, let's do one. Can we do one more?
Sure. Of the three, love, faith, security,
What about it?
which one would you choose to respond to?
To respond to how do I like them all? What do you mean respond to?
When I say that love means something differently to us as we go through our phases and our changes, it passes through life. Does love mean something different to you now than it once did?
No. I'm just as baffled by it as I was when I was 22. It is a very difficult place for most of us to go in our hearts. Love. We can admire, we can whatever, but love, that's a big one. we think we've done it. Oh, I found him and he's this and he's that. There's certain needs that we all have, but once we see this lovely thing standing in front of us, the man, we very often forget that we have to be serviced too. We can't just live our lives. So I can't say that I've conquered anything having to do with love.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you for coming here.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
Oh.
Out here tomorrow morning, I'd like to get a look at you.
Yes, doctor. What time would be convenient?
Be here at 9. And make yourself as handsome as you can manage. I'm tired of looking at ugly nurses. I married one.
I'll do my best, sir. But has Mr. Colton told you?
Tell me what?
I'm colored.
What color are you?
I'm a Negro.
You always been a Negro, or you're just trying to be fashionable? 9 o'clock. Try and be pretty.
The welfare people gonna find out, then you gonna be the man. The welfare man.
She's coming up the stoop, the social worker.
They just keep on saying I'm a lazy woman. Don't love my children and I'm made to be unfit. I must divorce him, cut all my ties with the consequences that make me sick. It's a hard sacrifice. And I testify that having me a loving man. Society gave us no choice. Tried to silence my voice, pushing me on the welfare.
It's Miss K-Back, Mama.
Charlene, don't just stand there. Let her in.
I'm trying to prove my equal rights.
Hello, Charles.
Made some mistakes, for goodness sake. Why should he help me so?
Hello. I'm sorry, I didn't get the door.
Children, would you cut that music down?
Just turn it down.
Hello, Mrs. Price.
Hi.
How have you been?
Oh, grand. Living like a queen.
Mrs. Price, have you been working?
No.
Because if you have, I really have to know. Otherwise, you get into trouble.
No, I ain't been working.
Mrs. Price, you know I'm your friend, but you have to be honest with me.
I ain't been working.
Well, I understand a man's been visiting you regularly this past month.
You are not supposed to spy on us.
I didn't spy on you, Mrs. Price, but someone has.
It must be that lady, that bitch across the street. She'll say anything, that bitch.
The thing is, Mrs. Price, if something comes out later and I don't know about it, you'll be in all kinds of trouble. So, if you've been seeing this man...
Well, what is this? Am I not supposed to see a man? What am I, a damn nun?
No, but if you've been sleeping with a man and he's been giving you things, I'm sorry, but I have to know.
Do you sleep with a man?
Now, that's none of your business.
It's none of your business either.
You're wrong, Mrs. Price. It is our business. This man may be bringing things into your home which you may not be deducting. Now, you know I have to deduct you on those things.
What things? What things, damn it? You have a man come over for dinner, he brings you a bottle of wine. I have a man come over for dinner, he brings me a damn six-pack. Oh, there are 2 left, Miss K-Back. Would you like a beer?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Price.
I'm sorry, too. I figured it out. It comes to about $1.35. If he brings my kids some soda, that's about 80 cents. Now, with quick figuring, that comes to about $2.15, Miss K-Back. That's plus tax.
You mean to tell me that's all he gives you, $2.15?
How much do you get?
State of humanity. So, wearing on my shoulders, gotta find the strength in me. Why's that? 'Cause I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Still when I'm a mess, I still put on a vest with an S so much as, oh yes, I'm a super.
I got hit in the mouth with something, and my teeth fell out in the front. You know, and I had difficulty getting jobs, and basically I wasn't comfortable at all. Well, I got introduced to Lifelong, and they've changed my life. I just got a brand new job. I'm real grateful to Lifelong Medical.
Talk2SV, brought to you by
Who is she talking to now? What is she up to next? Where in the world will she be? Talk2SV. You just might be inspired.